Hello, it's Rebecca here, and I want to talk to you about how beliefs are recorded in our energy. Now, our beliefs are so powerful. Let's face it, people will fight for what they believe in, and worse still, they kill for their beliefs, don't they? Now, very often, though, we don't know what beliefs we have hidden under the surface that are outside of our awareness. And it is these very beliefs that are the things that are stopping us from getting what we want. And also they're sabotaging our success when we do get what we want. So here's a little story that I think illustrates how beliefs are created and how they can come to impact our life. So this is a story about little Mary, who's 6, and she's waiting for her dad to come and collect her, as she does on every school day. However, on this day, he didn't show up on time. So she was left waiting with the teacher on her own, who was trying her best to reassure Mary that he would come and collect her very soon. Now, Mary, of course, is very upset. And in that moment, she decides that she can no longer rely on her dad, that if he cared about her, he'd be there to pick her up. So this decision has now gone into Mary's subconscious mind, into her energy, and it's now translated into men are not reliable and they'll let me down. So how do you think that will play out later when she's older in her relationships with men? Now, as it happened, her dad did turn up 10 minutes later. He'd left his phone at work and he got stuck in traffic. However, for Mary, that limited belief has already been planted, and unaware to her is going to be instrumental in her life later when she starts dating men. Now, these beliefs we make in these moments are created to and designed to keep us safe. So for Mary, her belief that her dad was unreliable and he didn't care meant that she wouldn't be upset the next time he let her down, as she would expect it. However, because of the law of attraction, which says we attract what we believe, once we have these beliefs, we attract the very thing that we don't want into our lives. So in Mary's case, she was now able to see every time her dad did something that let her down, whereas before she just didn't see it. And as an adult, she will start attracting unreliable men into her life. Can anyone relate to this? Any aha moments? Now, very often it's these beliefs that are the ones that become very deeply buried into our energy, because we want to keep them out of our conscious awareness because they were painful. But the good news is, with tools like EAM and NLP, the Energy Alignment Method, and NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming, you can get clear on what these beliefs are and transform them into empowering beliefs instead. In Mary's case, was it really true that her dad was unreliable and he didn't care about her? No, of course not. Is it true that men are unreliable and they don't care? No, not at all. So very often what we decide when we're children is not true either. However, if Mary doesn't change this belief, it's more than likely that she will attract men who do let her down and that don't care for her in the way that she desires, because she's still carrying it in her energy. So what beliefs do you think you have when it comes to relationships and attracting men? I'd love to hear some of them in the chat if you're willing to share them in this group. And I'll comment on them and give you some tips on how to clear them, especially if you know the Energy Alignment Method already.